Hello and welcome to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast on the Box Office Buzz 302 YouTube channel. As always, I am with my main man, Larry Lopa, Mr. LL himself. Birthday boy yesterday. Ooh. Aries, my Aries brother. And I am Gil Irizarry. Now listen, it's a bunch of potpourri, not much NFL, which is very rare. We've got the NCAA March Madness. We've got the NBA. We've got the NHL. We've got a little UFC, maybe a little boxing. So let's try and get this in under 59 minutes. What do you think? Probably not, but we'll try.
We'll try.
All right, Larry, NCAA.
Oh,
The main thing we got to talk about, I don't know if you want to lead off with it. Was
uh,
it a miraculous comeback or the ultimate choke job?
oh my goodness, man. Once we talk about the biggest game of all the games, the game of all games was this game. Man, it was a great game. It showed me tell of two things, as you have mentioned. It showed me one, the heart of a champion. A heart of a champion is one of the things of UConn being defending champions, right? And they showed you their worth, their pedigree.
Oh, wait a minute. They're not the defending
No, I'm sorry.
champion.
Which one won last year? I apologize. They got two
Florida.
at the last
Florida one.
Florida one last year. My fault. Prior to that, UConn has two underneath Bob. I'm Dan Harley. Yes, they have two. So now this year is be a three. Is going for the three underneath Dan Hurley, right?
Mhm.
Um, Duke was dominating that whole game. First half, they came out with a surge. It was a great game in the first half. I thought they definitely showed me their dominance early, but I felt in the second half, especially when UConn started making a little run towards the end of the first half, that what's called the momentum was shifting. And I said, if Duke comes out and they play aggressive and keep playing aggressive and playing their game, then I thought they could have ran away with it. But that's not how I went. They start playing not to lose. And I don't care what sports you play, when you start playing not to lose, that's when you lose. When you stop being aggressive, when every, because the possessions gets tighter, the other teams get momentum, they're getting confidence, they're chipping. Their coach is telling them one possession at a time, fellas, one possession at a time, fellas. We've been here before. We're good. We're built for this. This is our moment. That's the kind of speeches you get when you get momentum. While other team is like, hey man, we gotta be careful. Just guard the ball, make the smart basketball play. Yeah, now you're thinking too much. You're thinking way too much. Play the game, right? And what happened? It was a pressure moment. It was a simple moment. It was a simple. If you look at the game and from 2020 vision, obviously you can see the whole picture. But at that moment, and I feel sorry for Cade Boozer because at that time he's a freshman. He made a freshman mistake. Everybody knows this. When you're in that situation, hold the ball, hold it. Even if you have backcourt violation, at least you set your defense up for a proper defense so you can guard the 3 point. You don't want to get killed by the three ball. Okay. So it's a scramble drill. You try to go over the defense, which is what they tell you in Pee Wee basketball. You don't throw it high. You just don't. You feel me? Boom. You got half release. They tipped the ball, and it was like a scramble grill. It got wild, big eyes. And what happened? Another freshman stepped up. Mr. Indiana stepped up, drained the game winner, and I seen it when it left his hand. It was going to be a game winning shot. It's deflating for Duke. They have been there before to the same opponent, UConn. It's just something about UConn. Okay. So for me, I thought started was a tale of two tapes, man. It was a champion, the soul of a champion, and pressure bust pipes. And unfortunately, Duke's pipe got bust, and their possibly a national championship dream got thwarted that same night.
One word for me: panic. That's what happened. They panicked. And you're right. They played not to lose instead of going for the win. They're using, the clock and they just needed to see 0-0-0 left. Can't do it. You got to play to win. You got to make a play. And back-to-back turnovers, both brothers, the Boozers. Oh my gosh. I mean, I felt for him, but you're right. As soon as it left the dude's hand from UConn, it looked like it was going in. And even though it was a long 3-pointer, it looked like it was going in. The one thing you couldn't do is what he did. The one thing. The one thing. And you're right. Even if they did a backcourt kind of violation, you still had time to set up your defense. It was scramble, scramble, scramble. Try and get it over. No, no, no. Hold the ball. Let them foul you. Straight up in the air, not over somebody's head. Well, or with the dribble. If they get a steal or it's a backcourt. But what he did, oh my gosh, the dude got a wide open look at a long three, but a wide open look. Obviously, he's made that before, and it was nothing but net. That's what it sounded like.
Nothing.
And there went Duke's hopes for the Final Four. They had a
Yeah.
real shot. Oh,
Yeah.
they had a real shot at winning
Yeah.
this whole thing, but they can't beat UConn. They can't. They can't beat UConn. They couldn't beat UConn in '99. They couldn't beat UConn in 2004 when they had the lead late. They couldn't beat UConn. I know I'm missing another one. I know I am. I can't remember. They can't. Oh, was it Kevin Ollie's team? Maybe
Kevin
I
Ali.
can't. I can't
Yep.
remember. But
Yep.
they've
Kevin
lost to
Ali
him
team.
like 4 times.
Yep.
Terrible, terrible,
Terrible.
terrible, terrible, terrible. Shire didn't know what to do. I mean, you got all this time to practice. You
That
don't
part.
work. You don't work on stuff like this. You act
That
like it's
part,
the
Gil.
first time that you've ever
Yes.
seen this. Inexplicable.
I just don't
Like in
understand
the
it.
Princess Bride. Inexplicable.
I just don't understand it. As a coach, these are the situations this is where coaching comes in. This is what you get paid for. This is what you get paid for. This is when you draw your clipboard. You gotta draw all the scenarios. What we will not do. This is the emphasis. You do whatever you do. Do not, do not, do not. You gotta drill it in the head. Okay? You drill it in the head, that doesn't happen. Okay? So I don't know what he drew on the sideline because he definitely didn't draw the right play. Okay? He did. Fellas, take the foul. Fellas, I don't care what you got to do. Advance, whatever you got to do. Just don't throw it over a 6'9" defender. Just don't. They come on, man. These college boys, a different level. Ah, man, once again, deflating. And that was the closest, most entertaining game because the rest of the games was a joke. Arizona is a dominant team, man. Arizona is they look for real. They look for real. They were one of the powerhouses that I had when I saw them play the beginning of the year. Then they played Duke the beginning of the year. It was a good game. And they just been consistently good. You know what I mean? Michigan, another team. Michigan with Tennessee, it wasn't even a game. It wasn't a game. Michigan showed you that they're a different level. They're tall. Man, they're tall around the board. Even the guards are tall. They're just balanced, stacked, well coached team. And I got them. It's going to be a great matchup. It's unfortunate that they got to play each other for the Final Four. That the Michigan has to play Arizona for the Final Four, and then Illinois. You called it. I'm gonna say right now. This is why we call this thing early because Gil said it. Gil said that the alumni. I'm sorry, because we had this big thing last week. I messed it up. And Gil even said alumni. It's not
You're
alumni.
even
Right
you're
now,
even messing
alumni.
up saying Illinois. Are you pronouncing the S? Are you
Illinois.
doing that?
Illinois.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I
Illinois.
was no,
It's a
maybe I
silent
wasn't
S.
hearing right.
Like Solomon. It's a
Silent
silent
S.
L.
I thought I
Okay.
was hearing it, but I'm getting old.
Yeah.
But
No, I'll
yeah,
probably just say Illinois. I'll probably say
Illini,
Illinois. Yeah.
the Illini. I think
Alumni.
that's what they're
Yeah.
called.
Illini. Yes.
The Illini, yeah.
Yes, they had and I thought Houston was going to pull it. I just thought Houston was going to be able to pull it out. And no. 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 And Gil
Just
called it.
just just as long as Michigan doesn't win, because a lot of those Michigan alums and the Dave Portnoys were really ragging on Duke and their choke job. So as long as Michigan, those elitists As long as they don't win, I'm cool. I'll be rooting for Arizona. I'll be rooting
I
for
do.
an Arizona Illinois final, not Michigan, not Michigan.
Gil, it's set in stone, but I got a bold one for you, man. I think when you survive a scare like that from Duke, and it's set against you, I got UConn winning the whole thing, man. I know it's out of Arizona. I got UConn winning the whole thing. I got
Ooh.
UConn bringing up the trifecta. I got UConn solidifying their dominance, and I got UConn. That's my bold prediction. It's a bold prediction right there, fellas.
Oh,
UConn, and
oh,
not only that, but it's going to be a championship game, and they're going to win by 10.
what the
Even
what?
crazier, even
What
crazier,
the
even crazier. Bold prediction by me. UConn 10 won't be a close game.
wowzers? Oh my gosh. I would if I had money, I would make a wager on it, but I don't. Uh no, I've got Arizona. I've got Arizona UConn in the final. I got Arizona winning. As a matter of fact, I think they might win by double figures.
Whew. I heard you heard what I said, right? Bold per
Now are you picking UConn against Arizona?
yes. I
All right,
think
so
you
we got the same finals,
yeah, yeah,
but we just have it different teams
yeah.
and by double figures both ways. That is bold. That is bold. And I kind of like rooting for the Hurleys because they're from close to where I grew up.
Right.
I was born in Jersey City. They're from Jersey City. Dan Hurley, he went to Seton Hall, which is Jersey City. That's Hudson County. That's born and
That's
raised in
natural.
Hudson County.
That's natural, man. You around there, it's either gonna be Dad or Rutgers. If you're in
Well,
Jersey,
Rutgers is in East Brunswick.
yeah.
I was more north than that, but yeah, I mean, Hudson County, Jersey City, Bayonne, Union City, Weehawken, Fort Lee, Guttenberg, North Bergen. Me personally, I grew up in West New York, which is right next to Union City. And Union City is where AJ Lee, WWE, and wife of CM Punk is from.
Okay.
So we were like neighbors. Frank Sinatra from oh my gosh. Not Weehawken. What's next to Weehawken? Begins with an H. Hoboken.
Hoboken.
Hoboken. Yeah, so that's all where I grew up, and that's where Dan Hurley grew up. So I tend to like to root for him. Just like, part of the reason I liked Duke, I became a Duke fan was because of Bobby Hurley. Bobby Hurley, Grant Hill, both of them. So I'll probably be rooting for UConn at this point, but I think Arizona's got it. I think they got it. I think they would have probably beaten Duke in the final or finals. So Arizona, I think, is the team. I think they're the team.
And, it's great to see the Arizona's back because they got a rich history too from Lou Olson. And then that run, they had so many great players came out of Arizona that's in the NBA.
Oh yeah.
And for them to be back, Bryce James plays. I know he's not a significant part of that right now, but he's not going to do what his brother did. Came out and Mummy's not ready. Okay, which to his credit, he's looking a little better in the NBA. His dad's right there, so it's cool. But at the end of the day, I thought that Arizona is great to see them back. Obviously, Michigan's with the Fab Fives. The Michigans, Illinois with Darren Williams and all them. Darren Williams. That's the last team that I remember when they had a real good team. They were like number one.
They were in the finals against North Carolina.
Yep.
And North Carolina won.
Yep. So they had a great team. And then, I was thinking about how Duke, man, just think about Duke. Now we know Duke is just one of them powerhouse basketball teams. That's what we know now. And that was through Coach K. Coach K built that. Because back in the 90s, man, they were not that team. I mean, they said, they wasn't that team. when they beat the Running Rebels of UNLV, first you got to remember the first final they got destroyed.
They
It
got
wasn't even a
whooped.
game. It was like the city boys beating up on the suburban boys. That was the narrative they painted. You know what I mean? And then that following week they showed. That following year they showed grit. They pulled one of the biggest upsets. That upset when they beat Stacey Augmon and Larry Johnson, when they beat them that year, they were not supposed to win.
Greg
They had them
Anthony.
like a 30-point underdog, I believe, at one point. When you was betting, man, it was a 30-point. I know it was a double-digit underdog. So that was a huge marker when they beat them. And from there, that moment set Duke in motion. Because from there, you start getting top recruits. Now you start to beat up on the Fab Fives. You're beating up on the Carolina. That rivalry is a real rivalry now. Because, Carolina always had the Blue Bloods. They always had the Michael Jordans. So many people that came. James Worthy. So many people that came through their halls. The Kenny Smiths. You feel me? So they was already, the Carolina Blue, it was about North Carolina and the Carolinas, not Duke. So I credited Coach K and what he built. And John Shire to continue the legacy. Because look at them. Hey, man, a play away, you might have been playing for a national championship. They recruit very well. Right now, at this point, it's just the name. Duke, the name itself is solidified. It's one of them places, if you're going to play college football, it's like going to Alabama. It's like going to Michigan. It's like going to certain schools where it's already solidified. Penn State, it's solidified that the name itself is going to bring you.
100%. Couldn't agree more. What Duke did, and I got to give Coach K a lot of props for this. He had to change his ways. He had to become another Calipari, and he had to embrace the one and done. He had to embrace recruiting guys knowing they're only going to stay for a year. He had to do that. He didn't have to do that in the 90s. Grant Hill stayed for 4 years. Bobby Hurley stayed for 4 years. Christian Laettner stayed for 4 years. The state of North Carolina won 3 championships in a row, back to back with Duke, and then North Carolina won the very next year with Montross.
Yeah, with Montross, Eric Montross. Yep. Great point there, Gil. That's a great point. Yeah, he did have to embrace the new culture of the game. And shout out to Calipari for putting that in motion. He knew what he was dealing with, and it was realistic. He looked at it from a realistic perspective. He said, look, man, we don't expect you to come here and get no degree. You get that when you get to the NBA, get your money, and you can come back. You can do it that way because you got families. You come from the inner city. You got struggle. That's a realistic thing. Yeah, it'll be great for you to go ahead and take advantage of the university and get the 4 years. But that's not a realistic goal. Not when you got a family at home struggling. Ain't no nail money. It wasn't that. It wasn't no Leica imaging back then. It was you struggle, bro. You could have a full ride and you still struggled in college.
Right.
And then you get cracked for the scalpers nowadays. Because that's basically NIL was scalpers. Jokers coming through and they giving you money, looking out. You know what I'm saying? So I thought the game had to evolve. And I always felt that way. I'm glad the college game did do that. Yes. I don't agree with them quitting. I don't agree with them not sticking to a process. That's the part I kind of don't like with them getting paid, but I still felt they should have got paid though.
The transfer portal, is that what you're talking about?
Portal. Yes, sir. When you get to jump in the transfer portal, instead of you saying, okay, I'm gonna stick with this program, I know I'm gonna have to earn my spot. I'm gonna earn my spot. No, I'm just gonna jump to another squad and just go ahead and take my services elsewhere, So that's the downside of it. But on the other side, the universities make a lot of money off these athletes.
A lot of money.
And there's no guarantee
lot of money
that they're going to go to the next level. There's no guarantee you're going to go to the NBA or NFL or MLB, wherever you're going to go. It's no guarantee. But yet the university benefits off your talent.
Oh, gosh, did they? Yeah. I mean, can't add anything to it.
No, sir.
I mean, I like the fact that they got the NIL money and they get recruited and they get paid. But the universities are still making a fortune off of these players that, you had on the video games, all their stats, but they were an avatar of themselves, and they didn't get a cent, not a cent. EA Sports was making a fortune off of these guys. And they weren't getting a red set.
Red cent. So I'm glad the college game made that advance, and thank you for the sacrifices, everybody that came before. Because for the new generation to ever get what they get, you had to have somebody sacrifice in order to get this new thing.
Thank you, Eddie O'Bannon, because he's the one that took him to court that finally won.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Eddie O'Bannon, do you know when he played for the Nets when he was a rookie? He played one-on-one against a non-professional basketball player, game of 7, and he lost. Guess who that non-professional basketball player was that beat him? I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. It starts with the letter G, and he has 2 thumbs.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Eddie O'Bannon, rookie year, got beat by little old 5'11" Gil Irizarry. Fact. Now, did he play, lockdown defense on me? No, he didn't.
It don't matter. The game,
don't matter.
You won.
I won.
You ain't telling him not to take it lightly.
Dude was over half a foot taller than me.
You ain't telling him to take it lightly. That's his fault.
I didn't tell him to take it lightly. I wanted him to get better. So I played him hard. And yes, he dunked on me and then walked off. And the game ended. But I didn't tell him to do that. So.
Speaking of the NBA, man, since you brought it up, my favorite association, right? It's getting real, man. It's been a change of guards. It's been shifting. It's different now. It's getting real.
And we're not talking about guards like point and shooting.
No, we're talking about the changing of the guard as we have seen it, okay? Because right now, Detroit is for real. The hierarchy has flipped. They're back. They're for real. They're 25-12 on the road, so they can play on the road. They have one of the elite defenses. They're a very good defensive sounding team. They play great at home. They have a superstar in Cade Cunningham. And I think they're for real this year. And it's great to see Detroit back there because you got to think a couple of years ago, they were the worst team in the NFL.
They were the worst.
Lottery picks. They were terrible. They were in the same association as the Washington Wizards. That's how bad they were. And you think I'm lying, go back a couple of years from now and tell me Detroit was not. I think at one point they had lost the first 20-something games that season.
It looked like they were going to have the record.
Yes.
It looked like they were going to have the record. But it all worked out. Look how they drafted. Look who they got.
Good coach in. They systematically was building the pieces. No different than what OKC is, which is another top dog on the West. Because you got to think, when Shai got traded over there from the Clippers, who would have thought? But in hindsight, who's not going to trade off and you get Paul George and you get Kawhi Leonard? For SGA, he had to be part of the package, because at that time, OKC was death. It was basketball death. If you want to go die, go to OKC. That's what they're going to send you to the graveyard. Once again, Washington Wizards is that destination now. It's death. I ain't going to say the Nets because the Nets got a future. Actually, the Nets look like they could have a future eventually. The Nets is terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Boozer to the Nets. That's my prediction.
You need a guy like that. You need a guy like that to build around. You do. You need a guy that's going to come in, not cheat the game. He's been coached very well. He got some good pedigree, good stock. And you need a guy that's going to come in this game and take it serious and take it as a challenge and want to build a team. I love seeing guys like the Wemby's coming to, which I'm getting to. I love the MVP runner who's chasing right now is between him and SGA.
God, I love Wemby.
I love
Wemby.
I do.
You know what's funny? He is the opposite of Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was a great player, but boring. But Wemby, crossover, post up,
game, Gil.
dunk, block shot, 3-pointers. Oh, and he's so competitive.
Yes, that's what I love about him.
I love it. And we saw him play.
That part. He didn't do Embiid. He didn't get kicked out the game for arguing with a female referee like a little girl, okay? He didn't do that. crying because you charged him, buddy. You charged him, buddy. Wasn't a block. You charged him, and made me mad. But once again, Wemby gave me great joy watching him in the San Antonio Spurs because I love the Johnson needs to get credit. That's the coach. He needs to get credit because they didn't even make the playoffs last year. But you see them putting the pieces together. And I was curious how all these, because they kept getting guards. So I was wondering, like, how can they worm with these guards? You know what I mean? Because all they got was top tier guards. They didn't only get guards, they got top tier guards. There's a difference. You got Stephen Castle, reigning MVP, rookie of the year, right? You got De'Aaron Fox as a speedster, a baller, just a baller, right? You pair him with one
Harper. You got Harper coming off the bench.
Harper coming off the bench. Come on. You don't lose no production nowhere. Then you got Wemby to anchor you. You build around Wemby. And Wemby's so good that he doesn't have to put up 30 a game. If he does, it's great. But he affects the game so many ways. And that's what I love it. And that's what I would tell a young player, like, look, man, there's so many ways you can affect the basketball game. It's not always scoring. I get it. You want to come across the half-point logo and shoot like Curry. I get it, okay? You know, you're not a freak athlete like LeBron or Luka where you got jack up 40, 50 shots a game to get you 60. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I look at what Wemby does. Blocks, like you said, rebounds, can handle at a 7-5, fluid game. He takes his preparation because being that tall, you got to do extra things to be able to play that. Think about it, Gil. This guy's played a lot of games this year, man.
Yeah.
A lot. And normally when you that tall, man, you're prone to injuries. You're prone to injuries. You've never seen a guy, man, this is crazy that the game has evolved like this, where you got a 7'5" guy that has the skills of a point guard.
He's the same height as Yao Ming.
Crazy.
Yao Ming was the number 1 pick in 2002. Number 1, the year before LeBron. Number 1. And he was a good player, but he was the classic post up, could hit a mid-range jumper, those kind of things. The Wemby is the evolution. That's what he should be called. The evolution.
We always say, how can this game evolve, right? Mm-hmm. We always thought about that. And, once Michael Jordan retired, we was like, man, where's the league going to go? And to the league's credit, it has got more athletic. It's got more athletic. All right. If you want to compare the eras, and you'll say, because we all, we're nostalgic. We always want to think to what we know, right? Mm-hmm. What we knew as children and what we loved in the game. So, yeah, we always going to talk about the 90s. If I talk to my father, he's going to talk about the 80s and the 70s, you know what I mean, with basketball. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And how the game was a half-point game. You came over. It wasn't, if you jacked them more than 10 threes in the game, boy, you was getting pulled. You wasn't playing that system. It was a slow game. Of course, it's going to be physical because it's a half-point game, right? What these athletes are doing now, Gil, what they're doing now, remarkable. I never thought I would see a 7'5" guy, 7'4", 7'5" guy with a skill set like that. Mm-hmm. Right? Takes it personally. And I knew it. It was like Kevin Durant. It was the same transitioning for me with Kevin Durant. Right. Kevin Durant's a pure scorer in college. I watched it dude in Texas. I'm not a Texas Longhorn fan, I'm a Kentucky fan, but he was so polarizing. He was so electrifying that you had to watch him, Mm-hmm. So I said, once he get the speed in the NBA, once the game becomes slow, he's gonna be a problem. And he became a problem. KD is a problem, right?
And he became a good defensive player too. It took a little while, but he became a good one.
He did. So now you got Wemby, who I said once he adapts to the NBA game, that was my thing. It was so much hype coming in him. It was so much hype on him coming into this to the league. And I said, man, if he gets this game, it's over. It's over. And now look what San Antonio has done, man. It's great to see once again San Antonio back at the top, back in the running. The number 2 in the West. They solidified that spot. They're a legitimate team that could challenge OKC for the throne. And I'm going to make a crazy, another bold prediction.
Let's do it.
I got San Antonio, Detroit finals. Bold. Bold, Gil.
Ooh, so no OKC, no Boston.
Shall I repeat myself to the people that's not listening?
Oh, oh man.
Spurs with Wimbiana, Kay Cunningham, Detroit, best defensive team in the East, going head to head. Wow, sirs. Go Gadget, eyes. Go Gadget, brain. Bold prediction.
Whoa. Wow. I don't know what to say other than I disagree.
That's what we're here for.
I'm thinking
What are you
OKC
thinking?
Boston. OKC Boston. OKC Boston.
OKC in Boston.
That's what I'm
So you
thinking.
got a flip flop. You got the number 1 seed in the West going against the number 2 seed in the East. Whereas I got the number 2 seed in the West going against the number 1 seed in the East.
That is correct. That's how I see it. Now I gotta say that is a bold prediction. Because you gotta remember,
I'm jumping out there.
San Antonio, this will be the first time they're in the playoffs for a while.
Indeed.
A while. I mean, they're the number 2 seed, but Wemby's never been in a series.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that what he has shown me and what that team has shown me, I don't think they're going to shy away from the moment at all.
And I feel like Detroit, they need another star. Man, Cunningham is very good, but they need another guy. They need another like a big man, like a guy who, like a Giannis.
Ooh. Man, that'd be a great destination. You compare them two together. I just don't see Giannis going to Detroit though.
I don't either, because I don't think Milwaukee's going to do that for him. I think he'll go to the West.
No.
He'll probably go to like Houston.
Yeah, I can see a busted move like that. Houston.
Him and Durant for a couple years.
They've been speculating about him going out to Golden State, you know, because it's going to transition eventually.
I don't like that.
I don't like
too
them
old.
State either.
Too old. What are you going to get back? A washed up Danny Green or you know what I'm saying? Like,
unless you're building off of him and Jimmy Butler and the boy Porzingis, whatever that dude name is. Yeah, I just don't. It's not a Tyson destination.
It's a few years too late.
Now, I could tell you one I would think would be a great destination, and I think they got a young nucleus. If you add them on there, because I think one player is going to be getting the buy there, and I think he's going to retire in Cleveland. If he could bust that move, and they can open up a way for Giannis to get out there with Luka and Austin Reeves and
the Lakers.
The Lakers, big market.
Kill me.
Yeah, you know they're aggressive, man. So
I mean, there's something.
Yeah,
there's something. Probably only would have to give up like a second-round pick for him.
Yeah.
You know, like the Luka deal. That was an absolute steal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's certainly plausible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Houston, but you know, the Laker thing can certainly happen. And if I'm Giannis, I probably would rather go to the Lakers than Houston as well.
I mean, the trade-off for me, if you want to be, for me, it's going to be New York.
See, the problem is New York doesn't have enough assets to make that trade because of what they did to get what's his name from the Nets?
Yeah, Nets for freaking Mikal Bridges.
That
was stupid. But anyway, you know.
Well, that's because your boy wanted him. Your boy wanted him.
Yeah. Brunson wanted him.
He wanted him.
One of his Villanova guys. You know what I mean?
Sure did.
And, you know, he would have had Dante. You know, Dante. They would have had Dante DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo.
Yeah, DiVincenzo. Delaware native, by the way.
Hart.
Yeah, Hart. Well, Hart is like that. He's a glue guy.
Yeah.
Glue guy. You know, you need a glue guy. You need a guy that's going to be like he's just a pest. He's a pest. He's going to go for loose balls. Occasionally can hit some shots, some big shots. You know, he just got a solid game.
He's the George Lynch of the
Yeah,
Knicks.
that's a great analysis. Yeah, George Lynch. Yeah, that's what he is. George Lynch of the Knicks. You know, he's not going to wow you, but he's not a guy that's going you can sleep on either. You know what I'm saying? And if you
you like having him, but he's not a star.
Yeah, a glue guy. You need a glue guy.
Yeah.
You know, a role player, as we say.
Yeah. A hustle guy. He's a hustle guy.
A hustle guy.
He's a hustle guy.
Yeah, moving on, Gil. Moving on. NHL, man, you know, this is my thing.
It's the coolest sport.
It is. It really is. I'm trying to tell you this. Man, right now, man, it's getting heated up in the East. It's getting heated in the
Don't
East.
melt the ice, though.
I'm trying to tell you, it's getting heated, brother. Because right now, Philly has an outside chance of actually making the playoffs, man. You know, right now, they're trailing Columbus because Columbus holding that last playoff spot, and the Philly's only down by 3. They're only down by 3 points. And we're getting tight in the last ends. On the West Coast, you got San Jose is trailing, is trying to catch. This is my ladies' team, so I always keep up on San Jose because they had a bad spell because of injuries and things of that nature. But they have a realistic, the Sharks, man. They got a young team, man. They got a future, man. They got a stud out there. Celebrini, man. Celebrini is a stud. He broke a record. I think he broke Sidney Crosby record because he's got 101 goals scored. So he's chasing what's my man now? Lightning. Volkarov. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong, but it's V. It starts with a V. Volkarov, right? Him and obviously Connor McDavid is always in the running because he puts a lot of points up. And once again, Edmonton's going to be in the race again. So Edmonton's a scary team in the playoffs. Their thing is, it's like one of them teams where they do just enough to make the playoffs, and it's a whole different team you gotta play because they technically could beat anybody. Technically be anybody, right? But I still got, for me, I got the Avalanche. I got the Avalanche. They're going to be very hard to beat. Very hard to beat. They've been consistently good. I like Carolina. Carolina's strong. And Dallas is strong too. They've been on a little losing streak. They lost back-to-back games. Lost the Sharks in the shootout last night. It was a great game. You know, Sharks ended up beating them 5-4. And they just lost to Boston. You know, I figured they was going to lose to Boston tonight because that's a back-to-back. You just went from California all the way to Boston.
East Coast.
Yeah, bro. Like, that's hard. Jet lag, that's rough. So it's just the schedule, you know. But it's going to be interesting with Philly, man. It's going to be interesting. Philly won tonight. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's heating up. I'm liking it. I love this time. Now, you know, because last year I wasn't on top of my hockey like I'm on this year. Boy, hockey is looking good. It's looking good. Straight up. Hey, and Buffalo, I'm sorry, no, let me sleep on Buffalo. I think
the
Buffalo,
Sabres.
Yeah, Buffalo got a strong team. I'm pretty much on how you are with San Antonio when it comes to the playoffs. Being that they haven't been there, they haven't been in this moment, and it's been a while. I mean, forever since they've been there.
A long time.
That's my only question with them. I think they have a great regular season. They have a really good team. They have a fast team. They can pick goals up, you know. But I think it's going to be that experience of being in the postseason that even though they're going to be high, I think they're going to be probably one of the teams that could get pit out early because they're going to have a matchup where on paper they should win. But I think that the matchup will probably end up challenging them. It's going to be a tough series for them. You know what I mean? But I would love to see them, man, challenge. I would love to see a freaking Buffalo and Avalanche. That'd be to me, it'd be a great for a scoring series. But I would give, obviously, Avalanche the edge because I got them going all the way this year.
I like the Avalanche too, as far as winning it all. Not that I'm a fan, but
right.
You know what I'm saying. Man, I liked Buffalo in the 90s when they had Dominik Hasek as their goaltender. Oh, man, he was so good. So good. When Buffalo was in the NHL final against the Dallas Stars, I love that series. I loved it. Loved it. But Brett Hull ended it for Buffalo, and that
Yeah,
was it.
yeah,
On a very controversial goal at that. But yeah, I mean, I like Buffalo. You know, I'm a Devils fan, but I would not mind seeing Buffalo. You know, I don't want to see the Flyers. I don't want to see the
yeah.
Flyers. No, I don't want to see the Flyers. No,
No, no,
not a Flyers fan.
me
Not a
either.
Flyers fan.
Me either. Me either. My
So
my team, Detroit's hanging on. It's rough. Moving on, Gil. Guess what opened up? Finally, we're out the Cactus League. We're out the spring training league. It's real baseball now, Gil. It's real baseball now. Opening gate has started. The
it
series has
would
started.
it would be great if opening was spelled perfect. But yeah, owning day was good too.
I'm sorry. I apologize, y'all. I apologize, man.
Middle
You telling
linebacker
me the
owning
weather.
day.
Look, look, I'm sorry. It's the retarded me.
Oh
I
no no
apologize.
no
I'm
no no
retarded.
no
I'm
no no
retarded,
no
y'all.
no no
I,
no.
I, I was on a
We're
small,
not
I
gonna
was on
use
a,
that
I was on a
word.
small bus. I failed that class. I
No no
failed that
no.
class, y'all.
We're not gonna use that word. No no no. Yeah, but anyway. Yes, that was something that we forgot to mention last week
Yeah,
because opening day was the
yeah,
following day. We didn't, especially since it was the season started with the Yankees playing the San Francisco Giants,
indeed,
and the
indeed.
Yankees whooped that ass, is what
They
they
definitely
did.
did. Swept
Whooped
them,
that ass.
swept
Um,
them, and then we went out to Seattle and played a great team. I mean,
Played a real good team,
we
and
played a real good team. Yeah,
that's what happened.
yeah. Seattle's going to be a good team. I got Seattle being another playoff team. They
Mhm.
can stay healthy. They got a good team. They got great pitching. They got some good hitters. That ball. They should have beat. They should have beat the Blue Jays.
They should have beat the Blue
Beat the Blue
Jays.
Jays,
That's
bro.
why when they're like
Oh,
crying about losing to the Dodgers, I'm like, you should have lost to
yeah,
Seattle.
man. You should have lost to the freaking Mariners, man. Like, yeah, they had that series, man. Man, I was mad when they lost. I was rooting for them, so I hate it, because it's been so long since they've been in
Mhm.
Toronto been there before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been a while since the Mariners, so I'm always rooting for the underdog. If ain't my Yankees can't make it, go for the underdog, right? But so we're in this region. I guess we'll talk about the team I don't like, which is Phillies.
Phillies.
I don't like the Phillies. I'm not a Phillies fan. Hate the Phillies. Um, they struggle their opening.
As usual, they get off to a bad start.
Yeah, that's Philly. If you know anything about Philly, this is what they do. So you can't really, look too far into it because they always kind of heat up towards the midseason, especially after the All-Star break. They're going a nice little run. Then they'll be competing for that division because technically in that division, the team that I see really being on top of that division this year is Atlanta. I think Atlanta has retooled, rebuilt. Um, they got a nice team. They're starting off high.
Maybe the Mets. Maybe the Mets. Mets got a pretty good looking team too.
They always have a good team, man. It's just they never. It's like on paper they always got a good team, but they for some odd reason I don't know why. The second half is just not good for them in the second half. Injuries normally hurt them. Just the collapses. It's just I don't know. Can you believe the Marlins? The Marlins are 4-1 right now.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, but it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last.
So you don't have the Marlins competing and being
No,
no.
no.
That's an emphatic no.
I think the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves will all have a better record than the Marlins at the end of the year. And I don't think I'm really going stepping out on a limb. They got off to a good start. They got off to a good start, just like good teams get off to bad
Yeah,
starts.
always say that. I said in the beginning of
That
baseball.
happens. The
Yeah,
98 Yankees who finished, including playoffs, 125 and 50. The beginning of the year, they were 1-3.
yeah.
I'll never forget it. 1-3. And I'm cursing at the TV. Why did we sign Chuck Knobloch? He stinks. He stinks. Well, 125 and 50.
125 and 50.
And 50 after starting off 1-3.
So,
So,
Gil,
they can turn it around.
who you got? Who you got as top dogs you're looking at? And what team?
Yankees. Yankees, Dodgers. Okay. Dodgers. I'm going to say, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say Dodgers, Seattle Mariners. Marinate that.
I like that one.
Seattle
I like that one.
Mariners.
I like that one. Who you got?
Go get your Starbucks coffee.
I'm gonna just go division by division if I can real quick. I just want the winners. Who you got coming out that division?
Okay. All right.
Well, starting our division. Who you got? You got us, or you got us, or you got Toronto?
I'm gonna say Toronto.
Oh,
but I hope it's us. But I'm gonna say Toronto.
I'm more on our side. I think I like us. I think I like us this year to come out. I think especially if our pitching can stay healthy.
If the pitching stays healthy, but that's always a big if. Cole is coming back.
Yeah. Who you got in Houston's division? That's Texans, Houston.
Not the Texans. I mean, not the Rangers.
I think, yeah, because who's in that division? I'll tell you real quick who's in that division. So I don't want you saying nothing that you might regret. So
all right, or I can look it up. Figure it.
Obviously, I know you got okay. So in that division, you got Texas, Houston, Seattle. Oh, obviously, you said Seattle. So you got Seattle winning that division?
Seattle.
I do too. Even though Texas, Houston right now are on top right now. Texas, the Rangers are 4-1.
Season is only a week old.
I know. We can't get too hyped. Who you got in that Cleveland division with Cleveland, Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota, and Chicago White Sox? Obviously, it's not the White Sox.
Not the White Sox.
It's obviously not the White Sox. You know what? I'm going on a limb.
Detroit.
You know
Detroit.
You got Detroit. I got Kansas City, the Royals.
I'm going to say Detroit.
Okay. Gil said Detroit, y'all. I got who y'all got? Because I got Kansas City. He got Detroit. And we'll go to the East. Who you got in the Phillies division? Mets, Braves, or Phillies? Because obviously you say you don't think Miami's going to be there.
I'm gonna say the Mets.
So you going on with the Mets? I got Atlanta. It'd be crazy if Miami actually have a good season this year and actually do win that division.
Nah.
That'd be crazy.
Nah.
Who you got in Chicago Cubs? You got Milwaukee, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, or the Cubs?
Cubs.
I got Milwaukee.
Okay.
I got the Brew Crew. They got an awesome team out there. I think West Coast gonna have a bounce. Gonna have a degress year. I think Chicago Cubs gonna have a degress year this year.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the opposite, but all right.
Yep. All right. Do I have to mention the last division? But we can. Dodgers, San Francisco, Arizona, San Diego, Colorado. Who you got coming out the division?
Well, I've got the Dodgers, but I think the Padres can really give them a run. I think they can. The San Diego Fathers, I think, can give them a run, but ultimately, Dodgers are the team to beat again. Yeah. Ohtani is still on the Dodgers, right?
He is.
Ohtani.
That's how I checked.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with him and his team.
That's how
I got Dodgers, Seattle Mariners
for the World Series.
Yeah, for the World Series.
That's bold, y'all. I got it.
Well, I'm halfway bold. Picking the Dodgers is not bold.
Nah, that's not bold. Man, if we stay healthy, oh man, it's always on postseason, man. That's what's gonna kill us, man. Because I ain't like what Toronto did, and they put the smackdown on us, bro. I'm gonna pick us. I want to see. Then we get spanked for a World Series last time we played the Dodgers.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't want that. I don't
I
want
don't either,
that.
man. I don't either, man. I don't either, man. We playing for all the
Oh.
big guys that got killed by who killed us that series, man. He had an awesome series.
Freddie
Freeman.
Freeman.
Freddie Freeman killed us. Oh, he killed us. We had no answer for him. No answer. No answer. He had an outstanding series. I might solidify his Hall of Fame if he make the
I
Hall of
think it
Fame.
did. I think
That
he
right
was
there.
borderline, and then he won
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that put him
series,
over.
and then he won another World Series a year later.
Yeah.
So
Well, he got
that's
3, right? Because he got
so
one in
he's
Atlanta.
got 3
don't he?
because he got one with Atlanta. Yeah,
Yep, he got 3. Yeah, I mean that's a
that's
second resume.
Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Hall,
Now
Hall
I'm
of
asking you
Fame.
a question, and I know we got past the NBA, but it was a question that was posed on the Gilbert Arenas podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and the question was, do you think, what in your opinion, do you think that Dame Lillard is a Hall of Famer?
Well, so the NBA kind of puts in everybody. Let's be honest. If you were good and you played for over a decade, they usually put you in. They're like, oh, so many all-stars.
Yeah,
One of the best in Portland
I want to say
history.
he's a Hall of Famer.
You
What
do
has
or
he done?
don't?
I don't. What has solidified him as a Hall of Famer? What resume? What's the resume?
Maybe during his career, he was the second best shooter behind Steph, who's maybe the best shooter ever.
Okay, that gets you the Hall of Fame.
How many guys are in that shouldn't be in, that are not as good as Dame Lillard? There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that are in
These
that should
guys that
not
are
be in.
in probably had some chips on them. They changed the game. I don't know. Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Isn't Tracy McGrady in the Hall of Fame?
I don't. Is he? I
I
don't
think
so.
he is. I think
Is he?
Vince Carter is too. Played a long time, but Vince
Yeah.
Carter to me underachieved.
Yeah.
Underachieved.
Yeah.
Never won an
Well, he got the
MVP.
championship. He do got a championship.
Who does?
Vince Carter do.
With
Dallas.
he wasn't on that. He wasn't on that Dallas team.
He was when they won the chip.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he
Vince
wasn't.
Carter got a chip, bro.
He may have a chip, but he didn't get it with Dallas. I can tell you that. That's a nay. Because I watched that series. He did not. He did not play for that team. No. Chandler, Dirk, Sean Marion.
You know what? You're right. Because
I know him, man. I know him right.
So
Man, I
does he
know
have
I'm
one?
right. Does he have one?
Yeah.
Vince, does he have one?
Yeah.
What team?
Nope. He don't have one.
He ain't got one. Him and McGrady don't have one.
Nope. Oh man, I guess you got a great point there. I guess Dame does get in.
He's gonna get in because he's better than some guys that are already in there. He's gonna get in. He's gonna get in.
I think because
do I think he is? No. But there's a
Okay.
lot of guys. Listen, I grew up loving Grant Hill. Grant Hill shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Grant Hill, half his career, he didn't even play.
I think they give these guys because of the image that they built around them. You know what I mean? Because they're always trying to christen the guy to be. You're the face of the league. You're the face of the league. You're the face of the league. And I think that being that it was Vince Sanity's time, or it was McGrady then, it was a highlight reel, and all this stuff, that I think is because the league put you out there. That is like, okay, yeah, you might not accomplish the goal that we have for you, but you was carrying the league for a moment. And that's what got you in because of your impact that you had on the league. That's the only thing I can justify.
There are some guys that I like that I just don't think should. Why? Tell me again why Dennis Rodman is in the Hall of Fame. Okay, he won 6 titles. He was part of 6 titles.
He's one of the best rebounders in the game, bro. Come on.
He didn't beat Eddie O'Bannon one-on-one like somebody I know very well. What did he? He wasn't a scorer. Yeah, he
He was
played
a
good
rebounder.
defense, but he didn't
He was
block
a rebounder.
shots.
He was
He
he's a
didn't
great
get
defender.
steals.
He went against. I'm not that one. I can't. Nope. I'm fighting you on that one. Dennis Rodman deserved to be in there. He deserved to be in there. He did one thing great, and he was very great at it, and that is rebounding. He did a very good job. And not only that, he actually played Shaq one-on-one. Can you believe this? You know, he put him on all defenders. He sacrificed for the team. You know, at one point in time in Detroit, he scored. He
He
scored. He scored in
didn't
Detroit.
score a lot. And yeah, he played against Shaq, but it's not like he stopped him. It's not he
Hey,
made him
man,
work, but it's not like he
he made it
stopped him.
work. He
Should
made it work.
Alonzo Mourning be in the Hall of Fame? Because he is.
Yeah.
You think
So,
he should be in the Hall of Fame?
yeah,
Dude,
man.
once he got sick,
Yeah.
once he got
Yeah.
sick in like 2000, he
Still
wasn't good anymore.
He still wanted. He still was one of the. He still was one of the revered centers.
No. Once he got
Yes, he
sick,
was. Yes, he was.
look up his stats. Once he got sick in 2000, 2001,
How long
he
prior to
was
that was he in
not
the league?
nearly the same player. That's almost half his career. That's almost half his career.
Lonzo Mourning
He
still
came
one
in the 92 draft, I believe.
That's 9 years of him being dominant.
But he
Towards the
played
latter
like
years.
he played like 17 years. So we just gonna forget about the second half.
I'm
But
saying
he was
that you said 17 years in the league, right?
I'm saying like 17 years.
You still had a long time. So you're saying
He was
the
coming
9
off the
years prior
bench.
to him getting sick.
Coming off the bench with the Nets, coming off the bench with the Heat,
That's
coming off the bench.
That's the same thing with Shaq towards the latter end of his career.
He wasn't that good, is what I'm saying. This wasn't him when he first joined the Heat. This wasn't him when he played for Charlotte. This was him being sick and coming back, and the Heat didn't want him anymore. So the Nets got him. And he was backing up Mutombo. Come on. Well, it's all name. It's all name because it's Alonzo Mourning. Look it up. When we get off, look it up. Look at his career. Look at the first half. Look at the second half. And you tell me. You tell me. Grant Hill's supposed to be in there? What did he do in Orlando? Besides steal money? What did he do?
Yeah.
What did he
He
do?
said he wasn't
Oh,
supposed to come
you
back
can
that-
you
he
can
said he
count
wasn't
their
supposed to come
college
back that
career
fast.
too. Please. Please. That's the difference between the NBA and the NFL. The NFL Hall of Fame only being a professional. NBA, oh, you could count their college career too. Okay. That'll put them over the top. And what championship
you
did
know-
Alonzo Mourning get at Georgetown? 0.
Yeah.
0, 0, 0. At least Ewing got one.
Yeah, he got one. Yeah, he got one. He definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, man. You know, it's a fight, man, that we didn't talk about because guess what? In boxing, we don't never talk about fights that's coming up because if it ain't a prize fight, we don't even know what's going on, honestly. And there was another case where this fight happened, and as you can see, this tall, skinny guy is 6'5", Gil. It's for Sebastian Fedor. And this is what the guy's face looked like after he got them beating it up like it was Rocky's meat beef hanging in that freezer. Okay. Keith Thurman, and if you don't know who Keith Thurman is, at one point in time, he was considered one of the I think it was the junior, welterweight or junior welterweight. One of them. I think he's welterweight though, because he's the same division with Spence and Terrence Crawford came up into the division. It was Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. These were the guys that were the guys in the division. The thing about Keith Thurman always been his knock is the fact he does not stay active. Like he'll go years without fighting, holding on to the belt. He was holding the belt hostage, so you can't unify the belt because he didn't want to fight. He was picky about who he fought, you know. So now Fedor, fast forward to this young boy, Fedor, they're pushing Fedor. They're always pushing the fighter up. All right. So Fedor is the next fighter they pushing. He just came off a loss to Mendoza. Mendoza knocked him out in like the 8th round. Caught him with a vicious uppercut and caught him with a hook. Sent him on his canvas. He knocked him down. He didn't know where he was at. He couldn't believe he got knocked out. Fall, go to tree. Okay. So Keith Thurman's mindset was, I'm a veteran. I'm gonna set some traps because that's what veterans normally do. They can set you up for some traps, right? But I don't think these old boxers got the memo. I
Mm.
don't think they get the memo when it says your mind has one plan, but your body has a total different plan. Okay. We didn't see all the older great fighters go through this thing. Okay. We saw Roy Jones do it when he lost to Tarver. He's getting older, bro. And to his credit, he did go to heavyweight and drop down, which was insane. It was just dumb. Okay. But that's you being competitive, right? We saw
Hmm.
Bernard Hopkins do it. Got in the ring with a young boy. Got knocked out the ring. Okay. The only one I could think of that I could say in his old age was decent. It was in made history was George Foreman. George Foreman. George Foreman. Being
And he
old,
took on like the best
he
guys when he
did.
came
He
back,
did
and he was in his 40s.
in his 40s, respected. Keith Thurman went against a guy that's 6'5". Traditionally, a 6'5" guy you would think will want to keep you at bay with the jab, keep you out, which Fedor did get the jab working, right? But this 6'5" guy actually works better inside, which was how Keith Thurman will have to beat him. So basically, he said, I will have to take some to get the punch I'm trying to get. Let's just put it like this, man. When you're older, your instincts are not as sharp. You're not as fast as you used to be. You might have thought you had a game plan, but this guy's a volume puncher, okay? A volume puncher. So you're going against a guy that's going to keep throwing that thing, and he's 6'5". Once again, your range of where you got to hit him, you got to punch up. It's very difficult when you're 5'8", 5'9", 5, whatever he is. He's 5 something. You know what I mean? Because that's typically the height in that division. You're either between 5'6" to 5'10" at best. 6'5", Gil.
Mm-hmm.
You're fighting a guy who's a tree, and he could box. Not a good combination. So what happened? Referee stopped the fight, which I thought was premature because I don't think that Keith Thurman was in this stage where he was like not there. I thought he caught some shots, and yes, he was getting caught some shots, but I thought he could have kind of outboxed and got around it. So I thought the referee just stopped the fight prematurely, but he could have been protecting the fighter. They always tell you, man, you gotta show me something. If you ain't gonna show me something, step in here to protect you. Because boxers don't be knowing. They don't know how to protect themselves. And if say something happens like the one boxer when he got knocked out and he died in the ring. You know what I mean? Then now you blame the referee because why didn't you step in? So I can understand that part. If you're not throwing me, if you're just taking a whole bunch of unnecessary shots and you're not fighting back, then they're supposed to step in and stop the fight. Okay. I'm telling you right now who I'm looking for since Crawford retired. Canelo, I don't know what he gonna do, but I don't know. So I'm Benavidez has stepped up. I like David Benavidez, but they just scared to fight him, so he's not gonna get the big fights because they're scared to fight him. Unfortunately, he's just that good, and they're scared of him. It's the truth. So I'm looking for Jerron Boots Ennis, man. Remember the name, Jerron Boots Ennis. He's out of Philly. He stepped up to the light junior welterweight division, 154, and I think he's going to be challenging the top guys. He has a belt, the WBA and IBF belt. He's fighting for this summer. So I think he's going to be the next guy. He's going to be up there. He has a mean skill set. He loves the game of boxing. He's knowledgeable. He has all the tools. Now we're going to really start to put him to test because he had to go up because he wasn't getting the fights. He wasn't getting the big boy fights. So he hasn't been tested, because everybody has fought. He done dominated. So now we're going to see. Now he can finally get challenged. I want to see if he's really living up to the hype, But I think he got it, man. He's sharp. He's sharp, Gil. He's sharp. Remember the name, Jerron Boots Ennis.
I'll do that. And if I forget, you remind me.
I will remind you.
Okay.
Moving on, man, with the end cap, man. This is what you do. I need you to let me know what happened with UFC. I need to know.
UFC had a fight night this past weekend, and it was pretty good. The headliner was Israel Adesanya, former middleweight champion, coming off of a pretty long layoff, against guess what? A Philly guy, Joe Pfeiffer.
Mm.
And I believe it got stopped in the second round. It was rock'em sock'em. It was really good, but Joe Pfeiffer definitely had better grappling, and he took down Israel, and Israel could not get him off. Could
Mm.
not. That ground and pound got the better of him. I know you said you think Israel might be done. I don't think he's done, but I think it's pretty obvious he has to work hard on his grappling. He has very good um like takedown defense, but once he is taken down, if you're a good grappler, you can work him. And this guy, Joe Pfeiffer, he worked him and he got the
Mm.
TKO win. So congratulations to him out of Philly. And the co-main event was the ladies, former champion Alexis Grasso versus Macy Barber. Uh, Full transparency, I'm not a Macy Barber fan. She runs her mouth too much. I think she's writing checks that she can't cash. She's good, but not great. She wins a few fights, then loses, wins a few fights, then loses. So I was hoping that Alexis Grasso would win this one, and boy, did she.
Did she?
Didn't even go around. And she got it with the two-piece. Boop, boop. And then Macy dropped like a sack of potatoes. She was already out, and Alexis Grasso took her back and put her in a choke. Absolutely no resistance at all.
Mm.
Referee got Grasso off of Barber and called it actually a knockout because Barber, dude, when a person is dead on the ground and they have that look, that was Macy Barber. She had that look where the tongue was through the teeth.
Oh man,
Yes.
you
I'm
wasn't
telling you
there.
to watch it. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna watch it.
Watch it.
I'm gonna
Paramount
watch it.
Plus Fight Night. It just happened on Saturday, and you can pick the fight. So you don't have to watch the whole thing. You can pick the fight. Didn't even go a full round. Turn the lights out.
Mm.
Turn them out. Yeah. So when you see somebody out like that and they're stiff and their toes are pointing and stuff, you're like, wow. Yeah,
Wow.
so it was good. So I would suggest watching the Israel Adesanya Joe Pfeiffer fight, even though you know who won. It was still good action. I don't even think it lasted 2 rounds. And the Macy Barber and Alexis Grasso fight, which didn't even last 1 round. It's not going to take up too much of your time. So I'm just saying, for entertainment purposes,
Yes, sir.
you might want to do that. And that's all I got.
Oh
Anything
man.
else you want to add
Oh,
before
man,
we
that's a
sign
great
off?
show, man. Another great show. We thank all the audiences, man, for all the comments. We thank y'all for all the subscribers, all the new subscribers every week, man. You know, we call this stuff early. We fact check. Look, you could fact check us if you want to. You know, we are open for all information, respectfully. Respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
It's man, I ain't got nothing else to say, man. I think it's a great show, like always, man. We always stretch out the material like we always do, man. You know what we do, man. This is what it is, man. It's Gil was good with Gil Larry, man.
For sure, man. Want to thank everybody for tuning in to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast on the Box Office Buzz 302 YouTube channel. Again, hit like, subscribe, tell a friend, and if you're a Phillies fan, you can tell us to go F off. That's fine. It's cool. Same thing with the Flyers. If you're a Flyers fan, we're not Flyers fans, so if they make the playoffs, good for you. If they don't make it, I mean, it ain't gonna hurt our feelings. But please leave a comment and let us know what you think. Try and keep it respectful. If you do, we'll mention the comment. If you don't, I guess we're just gonna have to take it on the chin. So, for my main man, Larry Loper, I'm Gilly Rosari. We'll catch you next Tuesday, 10 p.m. Look out for our shorts, which will be popping up throughout the week. See you. Peace. And be careful. Watch the games.
Yes, sir. My main
Deuces,
man.
brother.
My main
Deuces.